Okay, exercise number 26, and they're all my favorite series, is the split elevation goblet squats. So split elevation meaning we have a elevation like a step or a riser or a low bench, okay, and then a weight that we're going to hold in goblet squat position. So let me show you the exercise first, and then we will break it down and talk about the many nuances that could be going on in this particular exercise. But I'm going to show you the way I prefer to do it. So one leg elevated, one leg planted on the ground, goblet squat position, and we're just going to hinge back, okay, and come up. Okay, the reason why I love this exercise is that the way I'm doing it, not only is it an additional single leg focused work, so we're able to load our focus, load and focus on one leg at a time. We're also able to hit the inner thighs on this one, okay? So I don't know if you were able to tell, but there's a big difference. So once I have my foot elevated, okay, I am off my center line here, in between the legs, okay? So if I was going in between my legs, I would be here. I am shifting the weight more above the planted leg, which means less on the elevated leg. My way is going to take almost all of the weight off the elevated leg, and not only focus the weight on here on the standing leg, but focus on the inner thigh, okay? This is why I love it. So if you have an elevation, you're going to have a couple of factors that we normally do, depending on the height of your limbs and the height of your tool, okay? You're going to have a wall, okay, during which you cannot go down much further, okay? Totally fine. This one is not about getting closer to the ground. This one is about the position of the legs and the hinge back with the focus, additional focus on one leg and the additional load, okay? So don't worry about going low to the ground, like in a sumo squat position, okay? This one we focus more on the hinge back. So what's going to remain the same or important in whichever variation you do is that the elevated leg is about 30 degrees turned out on the toe. This is because if we bring it forward as if we were doing a normal squat, or close to forward, we're already in a inwardly rotated position here, or we could tweak the ankle as we go down, okay? Especially if you're not shifting the weight over to the standing leg and you're coming to the center in between, then you're putting a little bit more load on this, okay? So just get that toe tracking about 30 degrees. The front foot or the standing foot, you do want to track forward just a slightly outward if that's your normal squat stance, okay? And then again, shift your body weight over to the left side to feel more engagement on the inner thighs, okay? Now, the kettlebell goblet squat hold. The goblet squat can be done with the goblet hold can be done with a dumbbell. I'm just going to show you the point of it with the kettlebell first. So you're doing a set it and forget it setup here, okay? This provides not only the additional load to work your single leg intensely, but it's providing a really nice counterbalance to that hip hinge and the squat position. So you want to just set it by rolling your shoulders nice and down and back, dropping your elbows closer to the ribs so not flared out, and having the kettlebell starting resting here, and you're not going to be moving this or pushing it out, okay? Even if it ends up falling away from you a little bit. Okay, you're going to be holding this arm position. Set it and forget it. So generally, you're not going to be wanting to hold a weight like this anyway, or have it floating out here as we're moving. So same stance can be done with the dumbbell, right? So most dumbbells you could hold lengthwise and cup it in some manner. So same thing, shoulders down and back, elbows drawn in. Nice if posture, that means the ribs are up, but not holding your breath. Your stomach is engaged inward with the space created by that lifted rib cage. Okay, that's part of the if posture. So you get this additional load. All right, so the most important thing to remember is that you want to have, for my version, shift the weight over the planted leg. The outward foot, the elevated foot is at least 30-degree toes out. Most of the weight remains on this leg. Feel it in the inner thighs, as well as your glutes and your hamstrings, and have fun with this one. This one is excellent.